By the third night, exhaustion and fear had taken over. We couldn't sleep, couldn't eat properly, and every sound in the cabin set our nerves on edge. The hidden cameras and the crawlspace haunted us. Whoever had done this had planned it meticulously, and now we were caught in their web. Determined to document everything, we went back to the hatch with our phones and flashlights. The crawlspace was worse than we imagined. Wires snaked across the walls like veins, dozens of cameras stared at empty air, and the journal sprawled across a small table. Names, dates, photos, and notes detailed every guest who had stayed here, all meticulously categorized. And then we found the envelopes, money, ID cards, personal letters, evidence the host had kept from past renters, possibly to use for blackmail. Suddenly, a sound came from upstairs. Footsteps, deliberate and slow. We froze, hearts pounding. It wasn't the wind, and it wasn't any of us. Someone, or something, was in the cabin. We armed ourselves with whatever we could find and crept toward the stairs. At the top, the host emerged, mid-50s, calm, almost eerily smiling. "I see you've discovered my hobby," he said casually. Panic hit us all at once. He wasn't a friendly landlord. He had been watching, studying, controlling. And now, cornered, he still had confidence. But we weren't going to be victims. Using the evidence we had gathered from the crawlspace, we called the police and live-streamed the footage on our phones. Within minutes, authorities were tracing our location and approaching the cabin. The host realized too late that his meticulous surveillance network had become his undoing. By the time the police arrived, we had exposed everything: cameras, journals, stolen items, and surveillance gear. The host was arrested, and the cabin was investigated thoroughly. Weeks later, news outlets reported the story, highlighting the decades-long horror guests had endured in that secluded rental. We left the woods shaken, forever wary of rentals, secluded cabins, and people who seemed too friendly. But we survived, and we had proof, ensuring the nightmare couldn't happen to anyone else.